Rockefeller, straight tragedy. I mean, all I know about the Rockefellers is that they did all the trains, right? So what the frick? What is it going to turn out to be like? Is there like a train monster now? So far, just to like remind everybody where we're at with this. So far, what we got is the Liberty Lurker, which is some kind of centipede-like creature that is living inside of the Washington not the Washington Monument, the Liberty, the Statue of Liberty. Uh, and after the Air Force One Angel visited, the the statue is just gone. And something happened that potentially attacked a large portion of the U.S. On top of that, we also have the Lincoln Lookers, which are like Lincoln lookalikes, potentially people that are like tortured in some kind of ritualistic fashion inside of the Lincoln Memorial. And then we also have the Special Tree, which is some kind of. It's a tree, but it's not really a tree. It seems as though George Washington tried to chop it down because they mentioned the lumberjack that like took down the forests there, which is basically the United States. George Washington cleared the freaking forests, kicked out all the natives, and then pretty much just said, "This is my land." And then pretty much that was it. That was the end of the story. So I'm assuming he got to the Special Tree, which he couldn't chop down, but apparently it stopped his heart or stopped his lungs. Yeah, that's what it was. It stopped his lungs. I think it made him sick or something, which led to him being frozen in the Delaware River for, whatever freaking hundreds of years. Or, potentially, since we've discovered that wormholes exist around the Special Tree, when the Special Tree sang its song, it actually teleported George Washington into the future, and then at that point, he freaking, appeared in the freaking middle of winter in the Delaware River. And then for some reason the people who were in charge at the time basically got a double to act as George Washington for the rest of his presidency. But on top of that, they built the Washington Monument around the Special Tree, basically as as a monument to George Washington because he got freaking teleported to the future. And what they thought would happen was that he was destroyed. Maybe they just didn't understand how that worked yet. But at the same time, it seems like whatever song the tree sang, it was also able to be used as a sort of torture method for for like prisoners of war, the POWs. So I guess, and they showed in like a whole little analog horror looking thing where they would like put the prisoners of war into the freaking like pulley system and then drag him all the way up to the Washington Monument, and then I guess the noise would freaking torture him or like drive him insane or like mind control him or something, and then I guess they would drop him to his death. I thought it was gonna impale on the tree, but I guess he just like fell down to his death. So maybe that freaking exploded, and maybe the tree needs blood to to freaking get nurtured or something. I don't know, but at some point it even like lifts up and like takes off the top of the Washington Monument off, like it becomes a freaking tentacle. So it's not even a freaking tree; it's a tentacle. It's a tentacle that can create wormholes. There's a tentacle in your wormhole. It's freaking crazy. Anyway, United States of America, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into it. Sorry, a recollection of the tragedy. And what's this? Virginia in Wonderland by Virginia. Oh, this is gonna be sad, isn't it?
first winter of the center's construction, the workers set up a Christmas tree just outside the entrance. It was an uncanny sight to see a green fir stand in the middle of what appeared to be a no-man's land. But this tree,
Are you really shy about telling the story? Alright, cool.
humbly ordained with strings of cranberries, buttons,
Hey, there's only enough room for one pipsqueak out here, okay?
and tin cans, greatly affected me. It demonstrated that even in the darkest of times, the American people will light the beacons of hope.
Hell yeah.
I thought
America!
it could be the start of a great and inspiring tradition, so I traveled north to
Hey, for real though, is that why there's always like cranberry sauce on the freaking turkey? Cause I'm not gonna lie to you, some of that Christmas, like, you know, the turkey with the gravy and like the cranberry sauce, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's good.
Babylon in search of a Christmas tree for the following year.
Hold up though, alright, 1937, what is... I feel like I missed something here.
But this tree, humbly ordained with strings of American people, will light the beacons of hope. I thought it could be the start of that even in the
I mean, this person right here kind of looks scary, right? Looks like they're staring at the camera. But other than that, I don't see anything creepy. This person right here looks like just an outline, like a shadow person. Is that the shadow government? I don't know. I don't see nothing out of the ordinary. This guy's staring at the camera, but that's about it.
darkest of times, the
Is that Stanley
American
Kubrick?
people will light the beacons
Huh?
of hope. I thought
Don't lie to
it
me!
was the start of a great
Is that the monster? There's a monster right there, isn't there? I could tell. That's where the monster lives.
and inspiring tradition, so I traveled north to Babylon in search of a Christmas tree for the following year.
Why freaking Babylon? Is that like super specific? Someone let me know. I feel like I'm missing that. That's one of those like history things that I don't remember.
For 12 days and 12 nights, Mr. Rockefeller looked for the best tree in the forest. How about this one, Mr. Rockefeller? No, it's much too short. How about this one, Mr. Rockefeller? No, it's much too tall.
Alright, freaking Goldilocks over here.
How about this one, Mr. Rockefeller? No, it's much too average.
Well then get bent! What the frick?
Mr. Rockefeller soon feared that he would leave
The people in the street may do with cranberries and shiz. You over here complaining about which tree?
empty-handed. Then, on the 12th night, just as he was packing up his stuff, Mr. Rockefeller heard the sweetest tune in the air.
Oh no. That's not good. That's not good. That's the singing tree. That's the special tree.
It sounded as though the very wind itself had fallen in love. He and his men followed the song and found
That is absolutely the special tree.
themselves at the base of a very, very special tree. How about this one, Mr. Rockefeller? It's perfect. For the rest of the night, the men swung their axes at the special tree. Chop, chop.
Oh damn. Okay, so it wasn't George Washington? But then how the heck did George Washington get teleported to the future? We know for a fact he got teleported to the future.
Chop, chop. However, when the sun rose, the tree was still standing. Their axes had left no marks at all. Mr. Rockefeller was surprised.
Okay, but now in the previous story, it said that the tree sang a song, and it like made the people that tried to chop it down, it made their lungs stop working.
The next day, Mr. Rockefeller and his men laid 100 sticks of dynamite around the tree.
A little overkill, don't you think? Chill out. What the frick?
3, 2, 1, boom! Yet, the special tree continued to stand.
Look at that. You wasted all that money on dynamite.
Mr. Rockefeller was surprised. So Mr. Rockefeller decided to hire the best team of grave diggers to take the tree out of the ground. After a week of digging, they told Mr. Rockefeller the tree will be out in 3 years at this rate.
In 3 years? So they actually tried to dig it out. This is interesting. I just, like, so far, it just sort of seemed like they gave up and sort of, like, just built a freaking, like, monument around it. But they actually tried to, like, find its base. I think I made a joke that it was like the planet's arm hair. Is that, could this
Mr.
actually...
Rockefeller was surprised, but he decided to let the grave diggers work. He would pick the next 3 best trees for the next 3 Christmases. But by the 4th year, the special tree was ready to display.
Wait, really? So they actually got it out? So it's not like permanently attached to the ground. Is this just another special tree, besides the one at the Washington Monument? Right, it wouldn't make sense if it was removed. Because the one at the Washington Monument supposedly murdered the person, the lumberjack that tried to take it down. And then they sort of just gave up and built a monument around it. That's what I remember. You remember? I remember.
For the last 2 years, I have seldom mentioned the tragedy that occurred at the center. Many have taken offense at my silence, claiming it to be the result of a desensitization to workplace accidents.
I'd say, I mean, that, or you just kind of a prick, you know what I'm saying?
Indeed, I have seen enough accidents in 3 lifetimes, but nothing could have prepared me for what happened at the center. For some time now, my friends have blamed the center's original construction workers for the tragedy, since it was their very own Christmas tree that had started the whole tradition. But the truth is that their tree brought joy and wonder to the public. It was my tree, and my tree alone, that brought about the unprecedented loss.
Hold up, so he dug up a special tree, we're just gonna sort of call it that. He dug up a special tree. I think it's separate to the one that was, like, hidden in the Washington Monument. I mean, because that one was as large as the Washington Monument. And apparently, some kind of incident happened with his tree? Okay. Nah, you can't be flip-flopping. I need to understand what happened at the center. But Rockefeller said that it was his tree that caused the incident.
On a cold December morning in Midtown Manhattan, Rockefeller's men slowly raised the special tree. Heave ho! Heave ho! Heave ho! By the afternoon,
That's cute. I love it. This is kind of cute, but also terrifying.
the special tree stood tall and still. It was unlike any other tree, having no color, branches, or leaves. The mayor of New York, Mr. Guardia, thought that the tree was too bare and asked for branches to be added so that ornaments could be hung. Mr. Rockefeller didn't agree. He thought the tree was perfect, just the way it was. But since Mayor Guardia had been one of his best friends, Mr. Rockefeller told his men to glue some branches on. I, Virginia, watched as the men placed branches on the special tree.
Interesting. Do you think the tree got pissed off? That they were like gluing shiz to it, you know what I mean? Like just get this freaking off me.
I had saved my money for over 9 months to purchase a little star ornament because I wanted to be the very first person to decorate the Rockefeller Christmas tree. It laid in my pocket while I watched because I planned to hang my ornament as soon as the tree was standing. After the final branch had been added and all the men left, I quickly ran up to the tree. But to my astonishment, the lowest branch of the tree was over twice my height. I jumped as high as I could, but still, the lowest branch was out of my reach.
Try throwing it.
I was very disappointed.
Chuck it.
I wanted to be the very first person to decorate the tree, but no.
Skill issue, Dayo. With my tiny monkey body, I could have climbed up that bit.
I had no chance. Unless I called my friends. At once, I began counting my friends on.
Oh, that's kind of sad. All of her fingers are her friends. She pretends that her fingers are her friends. Damn, I used to do that too. I've been there, girl. Don't worry. She's just like me for real.
There was Helen, Charles, Elizabeth, Alice, Joseph, Elsie.
Damn, she even named all her fingers. That's sad as hell. It's like SpongeBob when he was like staying indoors. Remember that?
Edith, Olive, and Philip. 10 friends that I could ask for help. Then I realized that 10 friends standing on each other's shoulders could put me at the very top of the Christmas tree. My star could be the first and the tallest.
Hell yeah, that's that winner mentality, bro. You gotta stand on top of all of your friends to get to the top.
Without a second to spare, I ran from door to door asking for help. Knock, knock, knock. Helen, are you there? Knock, knock, knock. Charles, are you there? Knock, knock, knock. Elizabeth, are you there? Eventually, I gathered all 10 of my friends at the bottom.
I'm surprised she actually pulled that off. I'll be annoyed as hell, depending on like what time of the night it is. Like, I ain't freaking getting out. It's cold.
Of the Rockefeller Christmas tree. I told them my plan, to have them all stand on each other and form a ladder for me to climb to the top. My friends understood my excitement, and they quickly started to climb onto each other's shoulders. Ow! Helen had stepped on Charles' fingers. Ow! Charles had stepped on Elizabeth's fingers. Ow! Elizabeth had stepped on Alice's fingers.
This is starting to become a really tall tower.
After many groans and tumbles, my friends formed a sturdy ladder, and I began to climb.
How the hell are they like grabbing onto the tree for freaking stabilization? How you pull this up?
I grew.
Is she just friends with like every cheerleader at the school? What the frick?
Every passing face. Before I knew it, I was at the very top, looking down at the tree. My ladder of friends swayed back and forth, and occasionally felt like it was about to collapse. But I tuned out the movement and focused on the tree. Closer, friends, closer. Then I secured the metal star at the top of the tree. It was perfect. Hooray! Victory! I'm the first! Just then, there was a strange sound. The tree began to shake. Its glued branches fell off all at once, and the entire tree slowly bent backwards.
Oh no, it activated! Don't tell me it's gonna teleport them all. Is it gonna teleport them all?
Soon, the very top of it touched the ground, forming a perfect arc. It was like a very strange rainbow. My heart sank as I saw my star gently slide to the ground from the tree's top.
Wait, but so this is exactly the same thing that happened with the one at the Washington Monument, except on a much, much larger scale.
Bolts of lightning then shot out from inside the arc of the tree, producing thunderous booms. The lightning scared my friends and me. We all tumbled to the ground and ran in all directions, but the lightning caught up to us.
It caught up to us, and so is the tree like subconsciously teleporting them?
I was blinded by a great white light. I remember when my eyes adjusted, I was in a field of special trees, and I saw...
No, screw you! What do you mean redacted? Hold on, so it can send people to its own to another dimension where the trees are from? What the frick?
In a flash, I returned to the street where my friends and I had been struck by the lightning. We were all on the ground, being attended to by other people.
So is this what? So this might be the same thing that all the people at the Washington Monument went through, and potentially George Washington.
I had scratched my legs badly, and I could see that my friends were also hurt. I looked up at the Rockefeller buildings, and I thought that they looked a little different. The whole street looked a little different, and the special tree was nowhere in sight.
All the kids got teleported into the future, just like the people at the Washington Monument. And Wonderland is whatever dimension the trees are from, the special trees.
It is
So at this point, as far as anyone's concerned, those kids are just gone.
only natural for the reader at this point to wonder why the incident has been referred to as a tragedy. There had been no loss of life, and, aside from a few temporary scorch marks on the center, no damage to the surrounding property. I, too, assumed it was a mostly inconsequential event, likely an electrical accident whose effects were exaggerated by the children at the scene. I was grateful that every life involved had been spared. A death at the center would have weighed heavily on my mind for some time. But when I encountered the results of the children's medical examinations, I wished that a death had occurred in place of the unfathomable.
What does that mean? Oh, hold on. So this is after all the children came back. So the children were teleported to Wonderland, saw something, then were teleported back to our reality in the future. But something so terrible happened to them that Rockefeller wishes they would have just died. What happened to them? Hold on, what happened to them, and then does that... What happens to them, and then this theoretically, this also happened to the people at the Washington Monument, as well as George Washington himself.
My mom and pa visited me at the hospital, but they looked completely different. Ma looked worried. After she wiped her tears, she asked, "Did you hang your bear at the Rockefeller tree?" I answered, "It wasn't a bear. I was going to hang a star." To which they asked, "What do you mean?" Pa asked, "Where did you get these clothes?" I answered, "These are my clothes, the ones you helped me put on this morning." To which they asked, "What do you mean?" My ma then asked, "Why are there dots all over your face?" I answered, "Those are my freckles. I've had them since I was little." To which they asked, "What do you mean?"
I'm sorry, what? So is this an alternate reality? She said that her parents looked different. Did they confuse whose parents were whose, or what the frick? I don't... Sorry, just making sure my freaking perfect signal's working. So what the frick, did they confuse who, like...
My parents quietly left my bed and talked to my friend's parents. Then they all started to cry and yell. The nurses made them leave, which made me feel better.
So were they teleported like to an alternate dimension, like a different reality, rather than the future? They're teleported to a I don't know what the freaking powers this freaking tree has. I just know you don't freaking touch no tree that's freaking singing at you.
None of us thought that our real parents had visited, but they all did feel familiar. Orville and Philip were especially shaken. They didn't even share the same last name with their parents.
The
The
frick?
nurses tried to
Okay.
convince us that those who had visited us were our parents, and that we would come around to properly greet them after we healed. But it was hard to believe. Whenever I looked out the window, I saw that Manhattan looked different from memory. Mr. Rockefeller himself was kind enough to visit us in the hospital. He asked us whether we were okay, and then after some time, he and the nurses began to ask us some very easy questions about American history. With every reply, they would chuckle and shake their heads, until I told Mr. Rockefeller who I thought he was. He chuckled at first, and then became silent, as if the simple fact had deeply affected him. He had asked all my friends a few more questions about himself, and with each answer, he seemed a little more scared.
Okay, so they definitely got teleported to an alternate reality. Which so now, because remember the entire point of the Monument Mythos, this story, is that this is technically an alternate history reality. So basically, imagine the same exact history as our actual real history, except at some point, some things are different. In this case, freaking the differences in history are like the trees existing, the secret conspiracies, George Washington having a fake double, as well as like the people being sacrificed. But this not only does this confirm that like there are alternate realities. What I'm wondering is, does that mean that Virginia is actually from our reality? Or is it that Virginia was from an alternate reality, from the Monument Mythos reality, and she actually entered our reality? Or is this still its own separate reality? Like, this is starting to get freaking like 4D checkers in my brains.
Mr. Rockefeller quietly stood with the nurses for a while.
And the problem is all my pieces are for chess.
He wished us a Merry Christmas and left. That evening, the nurses took x-rays of us to make sure we hadn't broken our ribs. Usually, those taking the x-rays are more than happy to show their patients what the pictures looked like. But when I asked to see them, the nurses ignored me.
Hold on, what the hell did they see from the x-rays? Oh, what the hell's gonna happen to the kids? Rockefeller said that he wished they would have passed away. I thought it was like, oh, now they have to like live in an alternate reality and yada yada yada. No, what do you mean? What's in the x-ray?
I didn't fall asleep that night. I kept my ear close to the wall to hear what the nurses were saying next door. I heard one sentence over and over. Everything's backwards. I wonder what...
So in this reality, what, like, their hearts are actually on the right side of their chest?
they meant by that. I never told my friends because I didn't want to scare them.
Yeah, that might be what it is. It's a very simple, like, alternate reality concept of, like, an alternate reality where everything's exactly the same, except, everyone's organs are actually on the opposite side. So technically, your heart would be on your right side instead of your left side, that kind of stuff.
But I spent the rest of the
That universe's version of you would be, left-handed rather than right-handed, or right-handed if you were left-handed, stuff like that.
night with my hand to my chest, wondering if my heart was ever on the right side.
Ooh, hold up.
My heart was ever on the right side.
Okay, so that actually confirms one thing for sure. Her heart is on the left side. So potentially Virginia is actually from our universe. Or, well, at this point, right, whatever freaking universe, it doesn't really matter. She's from, like, the normal universe. And she was teleported, potentially, I'm assuming, into the Monument Mythos, where everyone's heart is on the right side? Or some other dimension where everyone's heart is on the right side. So all we know is Virginia traveled from her reality into Wonderland, and then was spit back out into a different reality where everyone's internal organs were reversed. So I'm assuming Rockefeller, when he saw the X-rays, assumed that their organs had been rearranged. But it seems like the children understand what really actually happened.
For several weeks, the children were kept under observation at the Columbia Presbyterian Hospital. I visited them as soon as I had the chance to. All the families of these children were deeply unsettled.
Y'all really put a Christmas tree inside the children's room after the last Christmas tree teleported them to a different reality? Like, are y'all trying to traumatize them? Damn!
They had all independently come to the conclusion their child had been replaced by a doppelganger. They claimed that these new sons and daughters possessed substantial differences from their real children. The majority of differences involved altered physical attributes and the inability to recognize familiar locations and characters, such as their parents and their homes. Two boys even claimed to have names different to those that their mothers had given them at birth. But of all the discrepancies, the most bizarre was their faulty recollections of notable persons and events. For instance, each of the affected children claimed that I had become the wealthiest man in America through an oil monopoly. It is common knowledge that I did indeed work at an oil refinery in my youth, but to entirely deny my 2 terms as president and insist instead that I had always been a mere philanthropist struck me as being particularly odd.
Damn, okay! Well, there you go. I mean, that kind of clarifies it even further.
The families were agonized by the children's behavior. Some continue to search for their real children. I support their endeavors, for I do not believe that the children's afflictions were the result of hysteria.
Ooh, so what do you think it actually is?
Every day, I find myself recollecting the day that I had selected the tree. I have since realized the difficulties involved in the removal of it should have repeatedly discouraged me. And
So potentially, these children are from our reality, and were sent into the Monument Mythos reality. That's kind of like what they're trying to, like, get at, right?
had I been discouraged, the families of those children would not be experiencing the anguish that they currently have.
We'll call it the real world, and then the Wonderland, and then we'll call it the Monument Mythos reality. Or dimension.
I never had the opportunity to select another tree.
The MM
Perhaps
realm.
I was meant
world.
to select that tree regardless of my persistent character. Perhaps we are all trolleys, forced to follow the path of the track to each of our destinations. I take solace in that thought.
I'm sure you do, because it's kind of your fault.
Or perhaps the tree chose me.
But that's the thing. I mean, I'm like trying to like make heads or tails. I don't want to miss this, but I'm trying to make heads or tails. Are they trying to say specifically that like these children are from our actual existing reality? So the special tree existed here as well? Or there's like the separate monument mythos reality that is our reality as well, you get what I'm saying? But then there's like a second, or in this case, technically a third dimension. You understand what I'm saying? Whatever. Just don't think about it. Okay, many, including my father, believe that the 1934 Christmas tree vanished. This is untrue. I have seen it wandering in the plaza on many occasions, and it resembles a man far more than any tree. So the freaking tree became like an entity? A person? Hold up, you're telling me the tree was a person this whole time? John D. Rockefeller Jr. Whoa, what was that? You see that? I saw that, but then all of a sudden... something starts happening. I didn't get to see that. So we got a flashing light, which is incredibly similar to what we saw on top of the Washington, not the Washington, the Mount Rushmore. Remember Mount Rushmore after we saw like the crash landing or whatever? Another day or two later, we saw a flashing light just like this. And whatever this freaking thing is, alien creature thing, it freaking attacked the cameraman. This one's freaking absurd. This one gave us a lot to think about lore-wise. But now we know that inside, at the very least, I'm gonna say this, okay? For now, we're gonna play with the idea that the special tree exists in our dimension, IRL. We're gonna call it Monkey Prime. Okay, Monkey Prime. That's Earth. That's our Earth. That's where you and I live on Monkey Prime. And the children are from Monkey Prime, and then the special tree exists here too, and then it teleported them into the monument mythos dimension, and that's where they stuck now. And apparently, everyone's heart is on the right side of on the right chest. Instead, we're gonna play with that reality until we learn otherwise. That was a freaking phenomenal video. Although primarily written by Virginia herself, the final draft of Virginia in Wonderland does contain words and phrases provided by her legal guardian for clarification. Construction of the Rockefeller Center began in early 1930 when pre-existing buildings in the area were demolished to provide space. The center's original Christmas tree, raised by its own construction workers, was first seen by J.D. Rockefeller towards the end of the period of demolitions. Inspired, Rockefeller handpicked 3 trees for the next 3 Christmases, 1931, 1932, and 1933. The special tree would make its first appearance at the center on the 4th year, 1934. Freaking creepy. I like that one. That one was freaking cool. It's sad, though, that the freaking children had to, like, be displaced out of their reality, though. That kind of sucks. Poor kids. Oh, that was a nice, creepy one. Not too spooky yet. Not like the freaking Liberty Lurker one, you know, or the Lincoln Lincoln Lookers, you know. But this was kind of sad. Alright, I'm gonna drop a link on Discord. Please be sure to go drop a like, go drop a sub, all that good stuff. Drop a comment too on Manticore's video. It was phenomenal. If you're watching on the VODs, it'll be down in the description below, so please go check it out. Ayoo, Monodachis! Thank you so much for watching this video. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You can also find links to the videos that we reacted to today down in the description below, along with my Oshi marks. I'll see you in the next video, Monos. Goodbye, and thank you so much for swinging by. Sadu!